Hi everyone, this is Naya and welcome back to another episode of Overcoming Life Struggles with the Word. So today's topic is about obedience. Being obedient to God can be hard and it can be a struggle at times. We can wrestle with obedience in different ways, whether it's due to fear, being impatient, wanting to be in control, and sometimes the weight of obedience feels so heavy that we rather hide from God than face what He has called us to do. And I'm a witness to this. In the past, when God told me to do something, I hesitated due to fear and being unsure about the outcome. But one thing I had realized is that running away from the calling or the assignment that God has given me or has placed in my life or on my life, it doesn't hurt Him. It hurts me because it delays the peace and purpose that He has waiting for me, which comes from surrendering and obeying Him. There are many people in the Bible who also struggled with obedience, and one person in particular was Jonah. And in Jonah 1, God instructed Jonah to go to Nineveh, a city known for its wickedness, and deliver a message of repentance. But instead of obeying God, Jonah ran in the opposite direction. He tried to run away from God and the divine assignment God had gave him. Jonah quickly realized that he couldn't hide from God. And so in Jonah 1, verse 4 says, "But the Lord sent out a great wind into the sea, and there was a mighty tempest in the sea, so that the ship was like to be broken." So this shows that God knew exactly where Jonah was. And in this verse, it also shows that the storm is a direct consequence of Jonah's disobedience. So when we disobey God, it can lead to consequences or even life lessons. Reading further down in Jonah chapter 1, we see that Jonah got swallowed by a great fish and stayed in the belly for 3 days and 3 nights. And then in Jonah 2, while he was in the fish, Jonah had a deep reflection, repentance, and acknowledgement of God's mercy. And in the last verse of Jonah 2, God commands the fish to release Jonah, which symbolized God giving Jonah a second chance to complete the assignment or to do what God has called him to do. And then if you read Jonah 3, you will see that after being given a second chance, Jonah finally follows God's command and goes to Nineveh to deliver his message. So Jonah's story reveals an important truth that obedience to God is not just about following commands. It's about trusting His plan. And looking back on my own journey, I realized that just like Jonah, even when I hesitated or even when fear made me want to run, or even when I did run the opposite direction, God continued to call me and gave me another chance to obey Him. He gave me another chance to align myself with His will. And so as I close, I want to encourage you all to put your trust in God and obey what He tells you to do. Proverbs 3 verses 5 to 6 says, "Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge Him, and He shall direct thy path." So trusting God and walking in obedience isn't about getting everything right. It's about relying on His wisdom, relying on His timing, and on His grace. Thank you for listening to this episode, and remember that you are overcomers.